In a world that's becoming increasingly interconnected and data-driven, one of the most pressing questions of our time is this. Could artificial intelligence predict the next major global conflict? Could a machine with access to immense streams of real-time data detect the tremors of war before humans even notice them? As AI continues to evolve and integrate into everything from commerce to security, it might also become a crucial tool in global peacekeeping, or an eerie oracle forecasting doom. Now, here's the real kicker. What if I told you that governments and intelligence agencies might already be testing AI models to forecast the outbreak of war, and that some systems have already made disturbingly accurate predictions? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll learn how AI could not only predict future wars, but possibly prevent them, or even be the reason they start. To understand this possibility, we first need to explore the fundamental strengths of AI. Artificial intelligence excels at recognizing patterns. It sifts through vast oceans of data, news reports, satellite imagery, economic activity, troop movements, online sentiment, and even weather patterns, and finds relationships too complex or subtle for human analysts to identify. In conflict prediction, this ability can be leveraged in some astonishing ways. Imagine a neural network trained on decades of historical conflict data. It examines the buildup to World War I, World War II, the Cold War, the Gulf War, the invasion of Ukraine, and countless other regional conflicts. It looks at troop deployments, economic sanctions, political instability, cyber activity, even changes in language used by political leaders. Once trained, the model could detect similar conditions forming in real time. In fact, DARPA, the U.S. Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, has already explored predictive AI for geopolitical events through programs like ICEWS, the Integrated Crisis Early Warning System. ICEWS uses machine learning to monitor global events and signal potential unrest or violence before it escalates. It's like having an early warning radar system, but for political earthquakes. One critical way AI helps predict conflict is by analyzing media and social platforms. Take natural language processing, or NLP. These algorithms digest thousands of news articles, speeches, and social media posts to track sentiment and detect shifts in rhetoric. Is a country's leadership becoming increasingly aggressive? Are state-run news agencies pushing narratives that prepare the public for conflict? Is there a surge in military-themed propaganda? These subtle cues can be invisible to the average reader, but blaringly obvious to a trained AI. AI is also becoming adept at analyzing satellite imagery, thanks to deep learning models used in computer vision. These models can detect unusual patterns of movement, troop concentrations, construction of military bases, shifts in infrastructure usage. For example, commercial satellites captured suspicious movements along the Russian border months before the invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Analysts with access to AI models could identify those anomalies faster than traditional methods. But here's where it gets even more intriguing and a bit unsettling. AI doesn't just assess what is happening. In some cases, it can run simulations to model what could happen. Through agent-based modeling, AI systems simulate the decisions of political leaders, militaries, and populations under various conditions. These simulations allow analysts to test scenarios like, what if one country closes off a major trade route? What happens if a cyber attack disables power grids? How might neighboring nations respond? Using this type of predictive modeling, AI doesn't just guess. It makes data-informed forecasts. Think of it as a high-stakes chess match where every potential move is calculated in advance, thousands of times over. It doesn't guarantee certainty, but it offers probabilities. Crucial information for diplomats, generals, and global leaders. But there are serious limitations and risks we need to talk about. First, AI is only as good as its data. If the training data is biased, incomplete, or manipulated, the predictions will be flawed. This is known as the garbage in, garbage out problem. If a government feeds the AI sanitized or misleading information, it may produce dangerously inaccurate forecasts. Second, there's a very real ethical dilemma. If an AI predicts a war is likely between two countries, should that prediction be made public? Could it create a self-fulfilling prophecy? Imagine the political fallout if a leaked report suggested that war between two nuclear nations was imminent. Markets would crash, alliances could fracture, and the public might panic. There's also the danger of AI being used offensively. Military strategists could exploit predictive AI to provoke instability in rival states. Cyber attacks, disinformation campaigns, and economic warfare could be guided by machine-generated blueprints designed to trigger conflict without a single shot being fired. That's not prediction. That's manipulation. Another question looms over this conversation. Who controls the AI? If predictive models are developed in secret by powerful governments or corporations, their insights might be used for strategic advantage rather than peacekeeping. There's a deep concern about transparency and accountability. Who audits the algorithms? Who decides what predictions to act on or to ignore? On the flip side, if used responsibly, AI could be a game changer for global peace. It could enable early intervention in fragile regions, offering policymakers enough lead time to deploy humanitarian aid, open negotiations, or engage peacekeeping forces before violence erupts. It could create a more stable, informed, and prepared global community. We're already seeing examples of this in action. The UN and NGOs have started using AI models to track food insecurity, displacement, and resource scarcity, factors often linked to civil conflict. By identifying hotspots early, these models help deliver aid where it's most needed, potentially de-escalating tensions before they explode. But, as with all powerful tools, the potential for misuse shadows its promise. There's also a psychological component to consider. If leaders come to depend too heavily on AI predictions, it could reduce human judgment and diplomacy. Automated forecasts might replace nuanced analysis, leading to overreactions or misinterpretations. After all, a machine might see patterns that don't actually exist, a classic case of false positives. So could AI truly predict the next major global conflict? Technologically, yes, it's increasingly possible. But the answer is not just about capability, it's about trust, ethics, transparency, and intent. AI can be a mirror, a map, or a weapon, depending on who holds it and how they use it. The real question might not be, can AI predict the next global conflict, but should it? And if it does, what then? Do we change course? Do we double down? Do we listen or dismiss it as another machine-made anomaly? We're standing at a pivotal point in history where artificial intelligence could help usher in a more peaceful era or a more paranoid one. And if you're still with us now, congratulations. You've just scratched the surface of a topic that could reshape global strategy and human survival. If you found this eye-opening, smash that subscribe button for more deep dives into the future of technology, security, and human society. This channel is your front row seat to the revolution. Don't miss the next chapter.